Imagine working toward the same goal for years and feeling stagnant, not knowing what you're doing wrong, being frustrated, aggravated, irritated, giving up and starting over, giving up and starting over, over and over and over again, just to realize that you can actually see results and progress if you lock the F in for 30 days. I know what you're thinking. Girl, please. Yeah, all right, been there, done that. It's not real, it's cap. I was the same way. I did not trust anyone that said you could transform your life and change and achieve the goals you have for yourself in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days even. That was until I did it. No cap, no exaggeration. I locked in for 30 days and I finally saw results. 2 years doing the same thing got you nowhere. Lock in for 30 days and see results. How do I know? Because I did it. And I'm about to tell y'all how. Let's get into it. Hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I'm so happy to have you here. If you are new, hi, my name is Bree. I am your Gen Zennial bestie, your virtual sis, working to successfully navigate her 20s in an attempt to thrive in her 30s. And what that looks like for me is a bunch of self-improvement, self-development, health and wellness on the priority list, okay, lifestyle and vibes. So if any of that piques your interest or aligns with what you want for yourself, do yourself a favor and hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. I promise you're going to love this journey because it is real, it is raw, and we're on it together. So I want to keep it that way. You gotta stay tapped in. And for those who are reoccurring, y'all already know the vibes. So in today's video, I'm going to keep my ting brief because that's exactly how I was able to achieve these goals for myself. I'm not going to lie. For the first time ever, I gave myself 30 days and I went harder than I ever did for those 30 days. And it was in preparation for my birthday. If you're familiar with this channel, you know I was locking in OD crazy in an attempt to go into my 28th birthday like the bombshell that I know I am. Okay, gotta check out the Bombshell Diaries if you haven't already, please do. But yeah, I definitely did that. I had goals for myself. I made a plan. I executed it and I saw results in 30 days that I could not see in years. And I'm gonna briefly tell you about mine so that you guys understand why the advice that I'm about to give you is actually helpful. So as I walk y'all through what I did, I'm also going to provide you guys with 3 simple tips. I know you'd be like, 30 days and 3 tips? Girl, be for real. But no, 3 simple tips actually allowed me to see results and to see progress toward the goals that I have for myself in 30 days. So with these 3 tips, my goal by the time you guys complete this video is that you'll be able to take these 3 tips and apply them to yourself and whatever goal that you are working toward and actually see tangible results. A lot of this stuff could feel like a mental thing. I am someone who is very, very well aware of how difficult it is to remain consistent and disciplined when you're not seeing any results. And the truth is, you're not always going to see results within the first 10 days, within the first 15 days. But by locking into the degree that I'm about to provide you 3 tips for, you're going to see results in 30 days. If not, you're doing something wrong. Okay? So without further ado, let's get into it. Tip number 1, you're going to identify your goals. So as I mentioned, I'm going to clarify my credibility in how I know that these tips work. The goals that I identified for myself were a subscriber count of 900 by or near my birthday, and I wanted to lose weight. I had a goal weight that I set on my boyfriend's scale because his scale got like this freaky little app thing and all of that. I don't got no scale in my house. I don't even have a scale in my house. I'm a health and wellness girly, fitness girly, and I do not have a scale in my house because to me, I always kind of felt like if I can't see the results in the mirror, they not there. And that's part of the problem, to be honest. That's part of the problem, but we'll get into that later. I wanted to lose weight and really just go into my birthday looking and feeling my best. So that included shrinking the fupa and losing some weight. Not nothing crazy, but like 10 pounds. And mind you, when I set that goal, I thought it was completely unrealistic. Like, okay, to weigh like in the 130 range after being like 150, I thought that was blasphemous, but I did it, y'all. I did it. I'm not gonna lie. I wish I had a proper before and after. That's gonna be a part of step number 2, which I'm going to encourage you guys all to do, is to please document your progress. And it's not just where your health and wellness is concerned. No matter if you have weight loss goals, weight gain goals, or anything physical, document your progress no matter what. No matter what your goal is, document the progress. Because I wish wish I had some type of tangible photo, but I do have pictures of myself in like May and April and June. My dates were, it was from July 28th to August 22nd. So what I want for you to do, notice how the goals that I gave you were only two, and they were very specific, okay? That is what I need for you to do, step number one in this process. I think where a lot of us struggle is that we want to achieve an exuberant amount of things in a short amount of time, and that's part of the reason why you're not seeing results. I'm well aware of the fact that I wanted a lot of different things, and I have the habit of wanting to see results in several different categories all at once, and it's really not likely to do it that way. If anything, you should pick 1 to 2, maybe 3, but I think in order to see the best results, pick your top 1 favorite goal. One goal that you really want to achieve. Let's say it's by the new year. By the new year, it's well more than 30 days because this video is gonna come out soon. So if it's by the new year, you got well more than 30 days and you finna snap. Like, you're actually going to go crazy. But whatever it is, make sure that you don't allocate all of your time and energy and focus into several different goals. This is a time where, like I said, if you actually want to see results in a short amount of time, you have to pick your priorities. You have to laser focus and tunnel vision on whatever the 1 or 2 goals is for you. For me, I wanted to see physical results in my body, like fupa shrunk, okay? And it was measurable by using the scale, so that's why I said, okay, I would like to lose weight, maybe 7 to 10 pounds. And I wanted to hit 900 subscribers by my birthday because I felt like it was feasible, and the goal was to get to 1,000 by the end of the summer. Summer's still not over yet, and y'all know, y'all can see I'm at 1.3. So do you see when I'm saying I achieved the thing? Do you see what I'm saying when the goals and the progress started coming in? Like, I'm not just talking, like, I'm actually telling y'all what I did and how I was able to do it. So, like, it wasn't just happenstance. I actually developed a plan and I grinded for these things. But did I lose weight? Yeah, I lost about, I was 147 in July. By August 17th, I was 138. I didn't think it was possible for me to see a 3 on the scale. Essentially, they need to be specific. My goals were specific and my goals were practical. I did not say, like, I want to be 125 for my birthday. That's an unsafe goal for me, having been 150 at the end of June. So keep that in mind. You need to set realistic and practical goals, but at the same time, they need to be specific and they do need to be a little bit challenging. Like I said, I didn't think it was possible for me to see a 3 on the scale at all. Maybe 143, but not no 130 nothing. So that was surprising for me. When I set the goal, I was like, if this happens, it happens. If it doesn't. I really just want to look in the mirror and enjoy what I'm seeing, and I made a lot of progress where that's concerned. So yes, essentially, to conclude, step number 1, you want to make sure you identify 1 to 2 goals. If you do 3, you must have a lot of free time on your hands, and I'll let you slide, but like no more than that. Absolutely no more. And you want to be as specific as possible. The day you start, document your progress, document your start date, and then count the 30 days and document that end date so you can tangibly see the growth, the progress, because this is going to help to fuel you and continue to go beyond the 30 days. Just because we're going to see results by the 30 days doesn't mean that we're just going to go back and undo all the hard work we just did on day 31. No, we're gonna get back to it, and you're going to feel like a new version of yourself. And that's why I'm telling you, like, these tips are actual factual, because you genuinely will feel like a revised, transformed version of yourself. But you want to make sure you're being practical, you're documenting your progress, and you're setting that initial start date, the initial end date at the end of the 30 days, and you're being incredibly specific with the goals that you have in mind. This is time to be laser focused and tunnel vision. Okay, step number 2, you are now going to develop a slightly aggressive plan to work on these goals, and you are going to stick to it. I'm not gonna lie, this step might be very difficult for a lot of people because this one does require self-discipline. It helps to have an accountability partner. It helps to, like I said, be documenting your progress in some kind of way, because you're gonna get into a consistent flow of showing up for yourself some kind of way, and there being proof of that. So when there's not proof of that, you feel like you did something wrong. I'm telling you, the plan needs to be stuck to. Consistency is going to be the key for step number 2. However, when I say slightly aggressive, what I mean is that you should ask yourself, okay, this is something I clearly want bad, so I've been working toward it maybe for X amount of time. This is the amount of progress I've been able to see, I don't know, over the last year or so. So know what you're capable of, right? And then take that a wee bit further, just a smidge. You don't want to burn yourself out and do the absolute most, but you also don't want to be a punk and just be like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym and lift 5-pound weights for 5 weeks, and you'd be like, girl, you know good and well you can do that in your sleep. Like, let's do some progressive overloading. Let's start at 10 and work our way up to 15, 20, 25, okay? Or I know for me personally, it was posting once a week to YouTube long form. In addition to adding short form content onto YouTube Shorts, I wanted to show up consistently on this here platform. However, I started my new channel in February. I've been able to be consistent and post one long form video every single week. Since then, I'm very proud to say I've been the most consistent that I've ever been. So if I went into this 30-day lock-in challenge and was like, okay, I'm gonna post one long form video and one short, I already know that I can do that. A bit more, take it up a notch, a smidge. And I said, okay, 1 week this month, I'm gonna get me 2 videos. I'm gonna figure out a time where I can record 2 things at once, or I can edit or whatever, edit on the treadmill, whatever I gotta do. I wanna just test myself and see if I'm feasibly capable. I also was posting to shorts damn near every day. I don't know if I did every single day. There probably was like a few days that I didn't, but the way that I came up with a plan that was like, okay, on Saturdays I work out and then I go to a coffee shop and I edit X amount of videos. That way throughout the week I'm just pumping out the videos I already edited. That was a part of the plan that I developed. Because I stuck to it, I was able to show up for myself consistently on the platform, right? So ask yourself, you know, what am I capable of doing? And then you want to challenge yourself a wee bit more. And I'm telling you, this is important because this is not to maintain the pace that you've already been at. If you are in a place where you want to see results in 30 days, 30 days is not that much time, but it's enough time where you can actually see some results, but you have to apply pressure. So don't drag it, okay? Please do not drag it. Just take your time developing a true, thorough plan that you can stick to, something that's practical and realistic, but that does challenge you a little bit, and actually stick to that. So a little pro tip that I would give you, depending on what your goal is, take what you have to do for that 30 days and divide it by the amount of days that you have to get it done, i.e. 30 days. So let's just say you have a goal to finish this book that has been collecting dust on your end table. You're like, bro, I'm talking to myself right now because I really need to finish this book. You have a goal to finish a book. How many pages are left in the book? X amount of pages. Divide that up by 30. Now you know you got to read X amount of pages per day. That's not crazy. Have you been doing it? No. You've been reading once a week, if that. This is going to amplify the progress, and you're actually going to get it done when you have a tangible result that you'll be working toward, and you know what you have to do daily to get to that goal at the end of that 30 days. And that can look different for everybody. If it's a savings goal that you have, it's easier to like put monetary ones or like numerical goals with this, obviously, but it doesn't have to always be that way. Like I said, you want to lose a certain amount of weight in 30 days, you divide. I wouldn't divide it up by day, but you can divide it up by week. Like, okay, that's this many pounds per week. What do I got to do to get to that? Another slept on helpful pro tip that I really, really, really want y'all to use for step number 2 is ChatGPT. Yeah, chat. Hey chat, I want to lose this much by this time. Tell me what I gotta do. Give me a meal plan, suggestive meal prep. This is what I don't like, this is what I'm allergic to. This is how much I weigh, this is how tall I am, this is my background. Like I said, for content, I use this both for my body and for my content. I put it in there. I put everything possibly necessary to help me come up with a true and successful plan. I put it into ChatGPT and it told me what to do. Like, quite actually. Not specifically with my content, because I knew I wanted to try to do 5 instead of 4 long form videos in 30 days. However, I was using it a lot more than usual. I was like, okay, I have this, I need video ideas, title ideas, thumbnail ideas. Like, I was literally bouncing things off of ChatGPT for a while, but I especially used it for my health and wellness goals. Like, I knew what I wanted to achieve. I was asking ChatGPT all types of stuff, and it helped me come up with meal plan ideas and different meal preps, and it did the whole TDEE thing for me. Okay, my total energy expenditure and how many calories I'm burning at maintenance and all of that. What a real the calorie deficit and ChatGPT combination, that went together for me real bad, and it really put me in a place where I was actually able to see the results. I know for a fact that sticking to the plan that ChatGPT helped me make when it comes to my health and wellness is the reason I was able to lose 10 pounds in 30 days. And it's the reason why I looked and felt my best at 28 despite being active my whole life and be like on this health and wellness journey for years. That's the one thing that I never really tapped into, was the diet portion of health and wellness. It was more so just being active and then doing whatever I wanted on the weekends. And we're gonna get into that in your step number 3 or your tip number 3, but that is definitely hands down the reason I was able to see results, is because I stuck to a meal plan that ChatGPT helped put together for me that allotted me the ability to eat in a calorie deficit that wasn't crazy. I still felt satiated and full, and I cut back on the drinking, cut back on the sugar and the bread, and I saw it, and it just was so motivating, because you don't understand, like, after years of like working toward the same thing and not understanding why I'm getting the same amount of bloating, the inflammation, just the lower belly fupa just being I also lost 1 inch off my fupa. Like, I was measuring it, and I had measured in my journal. It was a while ago that I did the measurement, but that was the first time I seen the measurement to be different when I did the measurement in August versus prior. So yeah, an inch off the fupa is gone, honey. Yeah, and I'm trying to keep it that way, so we'll get into that in other videos. Be sure to stick around. But yeah, make sure you're being practical when it comes to the plan that you set for yourself, but use your resources. If it's ChatGPT, then it's ChatGPT. Just make a plan and stick to it. Like I said, don't be afraid to challenge yourself a little bit. Okay, tip number 3, or the final thing that I did that I know contributed to me being able to see results and feel like a brand new person at the end of that 30 days, and that was to identify my triggers and clip them. Okay, them joints had to go. Not to say it had to go forever, but I want you to take a moment to ask yourself the other times where you've attempted to work on goals or work on yourself or stick to a challenge of some sort. What hindered you during that time? Was it video games? I'm gonna kick that little door. Was it being big bags, going out to eat, spending money, drinking? Like, what was it that made it difficult for you? And I need you to cut that. It's not to say it needs to be a forever thing, but if you want to see the results in a short amount of time, which you do, which is why you clicked on this video, you have to lock in during this time. So ask yourself, what is it that truth, and I need you to be for real with yourself, because it really just irritates me when people be like, oh no, like, that's not my problem. I just, you know, that was just that one time. I don't really have an issue. I have no problem, like, with my spending. I literally barely eat out. Are you being delusional right now? Because you barely eat in. Like, I barely see you cook. I barely see you meal prep ever. How is that not a part of the problem? Like, ask yourself what it is, truthfully. Is it impulse spending or impulse purchases? Like, do you have a little, like, designer itch you scratch every check? That's not gonna help you if your goal is to save X amount of money in 30 days. Or what is it that makes you go and spend? Is it your friends? Like, is the suggestion always to go to the mall or to go out to eat? Or for me, I know the things that I took a step back on included outside activities, which is just going out, eating and drinking. Not like I have a problem, but it was more so like, I know how much I need to be using my weekends toward my goals in order to see these results in 30 days, right? I have the tendency to either go out, spend money, eat what I want when I do this, and then also be hungover and get nothing done the day following. That's literally the recipe for disaster that Atlanta had me in a chokehold of for a while. I'm not even gonna lie. And I love my friends to death. So they had no problem when I told them at the beginning of August or at the end of July, I was like, y'all, I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm gonna be living under a rock for this month for the most part until my birthday. If y'all wanna do something, we gotta keep it cute, okay? You wanna do something, we can go to the Beltline, we can take a walk, we can go to Piedmont Park, we can have a picnic, we can go swimming and like go home afterwards. But I know my triggers were, I know I was gonna eat whatever I wanted when I go outside, and I'm also going to drink and be hungover and be not productive when I go outside. So that's what I had to step back on. And it's not to say, that's what I say, I had me a little drink like maybe once or twice in that 30 days, but that was me going to like a bar and getting work done or editing a YouTube video with a martini or something like that. You see the difference? Like, I know the problem itself wasn't like drinking, it was getting drunk outside with my friends. That's what I needed to take a step back on, so that I don't eat big backed and so that I don't lose my marbles and be so hungover that I don't have any energy to do anything the day after, get my steps. I used to be so mad at myself for having so much guilt because I didn't have any energy to edit or to get my steps in or to work out or to make healthy eating decisions after a weekend of partying. But those are the things that I just had to cut back on a little bit in order to be consistent and disciplined with my goals, and I was able to achieve the things that I wanted to. It's not to say that those things can never be a part of like what I do. I did make time to have fun afterwards, and I had plenty of fun during my birthday. So it's not to say that you can't do these things ever. You should make sure that you're finding a way to have fun amidst the discipline. That way you don't get burnt out. However, this is a time where you are gonna have to get comfortable saying no. It's unfortunate, but it's the reality. You have to get comfortable saying no to certain things, and you have to be real and be honest with yourself about the things that are triggering for you. Whatever is getting in the way of you achieving your goals, or whatever is a consistent hindrance, you have to nip that in the bud, okay? And I promise you that, coupled with a very, very specific goal, one or two, and an execution plan that is specific and that is a wee bit challenging, but that is practical and realistic for you and that works for you and that you can be consistent with, I'm telling you, not only are you going to achieve the goals that you set out for yourself in 30 days or less, but you're also going to feel a shift. You're going to realize your capability. You're going to stop sleeping on yourself, and you're actually going to make things shake. It's going to give you the motivation and the determination to go again. You're going to transform. And with that being said, y'all, that's exactly the method, the formula that I used to achieve the two biggest goals that I had for myself this summer in 30 days, okay? And I know good and well that you guys have the capability and the potential to make these things shake for yourself. Like, whatever the goal is that you have, whether it be to achieve something at school, at work, with your health and wellness, your body, your content, like your side hustle, a monetary savings amount, whatever the case is, there is nothing that you can't do through Christ and when you put your mind to it, okay? So when you set those goals and you identify the due dates for yourself and you start breaking up this plan, make sure that you make those goals clear to God and that you submit your issues, all the things you're struggling to step away from amidst this lock-in era, this very strenuous sometimes, but motivational, disciplined era. I want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and that you're praying about it and that you remind yourself daily that you can do this. Like, I promise you, you can do this every day. You're going to have to make a decision to not quit. It can be very easy, especially if you're an adult with free will. Like, no one's gonna force you to go to the gym, or no one's gonna force you to save money. Like, you have to decide that you want these things for yourself and ask yourself, how bad do you want it? That's really the truth of the matter. How bad do you want it? Because it's not impossible to achieve in 30 days or less. I just showed y'all how, and I gave you the formula, the blueprint, honey. So take these tips, take them goals, make them clear to God, and get them moving and shaking, because you can do this, I promise you. Why don't you guys actually take this time to let me know what your goal is in the comments, because I'm very, very excited to see how you guys are working on trying to close out the summer or kick off the fall, what goals you have at the top of your mind as we go into Q4, because honey, That was just the summer goals that I achieved in 30 days. Y'all gonna want to stick around for what I make happen for myself in the wintertime. I'm not playing. This winter arc about to be crazy, okay? I done got this fire up under my butt now because I did that for myself. I set a goal and I achieved it, not one but two in 30 days. Yeah, I'm not I'm not playing with y'all. I'm really not playing with y'all, and I hope y'all not playing with me. Like, don't come in the comments with a little kiki and then forget about everything we just talked about. Take these tips and apply them. I really want to see what you guys are working toward as we make our way into Q4 and all the way to 2026. I know that you guys are capable, you're more than capable, you're able, and I'm eager to be on the journey with y'all. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. If you haven't already, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much. I really love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next drop, and so that we can get into Q4 together, working on these goals and watching them come into fruition. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video.